to the ITTF team. Yeah, it gets long every time, doesn't it? Team World Cup.
It's finals day. London 2018 is about to go live. Well, we've been joined by 100 elite players from 16 countries, national champions, Olympic champions and world champions, making the journey with the ultimate aim to lift the Team World Cup for their country. Let's have a look at the countries that have been here over the past 4 days. Australia, Brazil, China, Chinese Taipei, Egypt, France, Germany, Hong Kong, China, Japan, DPR Korea, Korea Republic, Romania, Sweden, Singapore, USA, and of course, England. We are a matter of a few minutes away from introducing our last contest of the 4 days. It's the men's final, and it's China against Japan in the arena. Who's sticking up for Japan? And do we by any chance have anybody sticking up for Team China? Thought we might. Well, of course, are China going to get the double? We had the women's champions this morning. Let us find out very shortly indeed. All 4 days have been streamed live on ITTV. Comprehensive coverage with the draws and the results service. Action on ITTF.com and the ITTF YouTube channel. The action also viewed on the BBC Red Button in the UK, as well as streaming on bbc.co.uk. It's going right the way around the world with various broadcasters in over 100 countries. So good luck to our last 2 teams, and to all the spectators we say enjoy your time here at the Copper Box. Enjoy your time here in England. Welcome to this famous, historic, vibrant capital city. Where are we? This is London!
You got me high like a bird, swimming in the sky.
Little reminder about that hashtag ITTF World Cup. Get some selfies going. Hashtag ITTF World Cup. It's time for us to welcome our competition umpires into the arena. From Germany, Christoph Geiger, and from England, Brian Jackson. Umpires now in the arena. It is time for us to welcome the coaches into the arena now, and we have from China, Lu Zhouzheng. And from Japan, Yosuke Kuroshima. Broadcasting around the world to more than 100 countries. London, in about 15 seconds, we go live, at which point I need you to blow the roof off the arena as we look to the screens and go to 100 countries with our live broadcast around the world. This is the Copper Box Arena and the 2018 ITTF Team World Cup Final. Yes, it's the men's competition. London, are you ready? Please welcome into the arena, Team China! Represented by Fan Zhendong, Shushin and Ma Lung. Team China! Versus Team Japan! Represented by Koki NIWA, Tomokazu Harimoto and Jin UEDA. Team Japan! Teams, please enter the arena.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2018 ITTF Team World Cup, coming to you live from Copper Box Arena in London, England. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobrow, and joining me in the commentary booth, a legend of English table tennis, 10 years as national team coach, a national team player, and a familiar voice, it's Don Parker. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing very well, Adam, and I am really looking forward to this final. I think China just seem to be getting stronger and stronger. The performance against England yesterday was close to perfection. Japan are great, but I think they're going to have to really pull it out to push China. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I don't think there's much question about it, as much like you, a player who's watching a whole lot of table tennis, and for table tennis fans around the world, they are aware that it is a very uphill battle here for Japan, with Tomokazu Harimoto, the 14-year-old world ranked number 11, lined up to play two singles. If they can get that far, Jin UEDA and Koki NIWA will be in doubles. Jin UEDA, in that promo video we saw, pulling through the most impressive clutch performance I've seen since, well, probably Timo Boll late last year against Lin Gaoyuan. Here's the road to how they got here. In the quarterfinals, China took down Germany 3-0. Dima was on injury, so had to sit it out. A lot of people were curious about that. After that, yesterday in perfect form against England, despite Liam Pitchford's valiant effort. And on the other side, Japan taking down Korea despite facing 4 overall team match points. So here's the lineup for how it's going to go. Shushin and Ma Long starting off in the doubles for China. Jin UEDA and Koki NIWA on the Japanese side. And a lot of fans here, ticket holders for the sellout crowd, said, I want to make sure I get a chance to see Ma Long play live and in person. Well, congratulations, that you will have. Ma Long will play the third match, the second singles, so it is a must. And it should be an exciting one because he's playing someone who's beaten him before, one of the very few non-Chinese players. That man right there, the mystery man, Koki NIWA, smallest man on court now, but in terms of producing spectacular shots, he's as big as they come. Shushin, the cloud walker, the left-handed pen holder, arguably the best pen holder on earth, and also arguably the most spectacular player to watch, is a doubles specialist. In 2015 in Suzhou, he was a world champion for men's doubles and mixed doubles. And then in 2017, very strong again as world champion. So right here, Don, as you described, it's going to be an uphill battle. What do you think would give Japan the best chances?
That's a good question. I think obviously they need a good start in the first game, get the confidence, throw caution to the wind. They've got to go for the shots. But I have to say, just going back to this system, we're starting with the doubles. That's very unusual. I think the ITTF have been really innovative in changing the system, looking for a better system. And of course, what this does, it means there's a better chance that the two #1 players play each other early in the match as well. So you went through the lineup, Adam, and it's such an exciting lineup. I think you've got to put China down as favourites in the first 3 games. But you're right, Koki NIWA has beaten Ma Long. I thought Ma Long yesterday, when he played against young Sam Walker from England, it was just an incredible performance. No mistakes, strong top spins, his movement's exceptional. And I was asked in commentary about, I've been involved around the game for 50 years, and I have to say my 2 top players over that 50 years, I'd have to pick Jan-Ove Waldner from Sweden, but Ma Long. I think Ma Long is just a complete player, and he just continues to impress me. So you've asked me what can Japan do. I've not sounded very optimistic about Japan, but I have to say their road to Tokyo and the Olympics, they seem to be improving all the time. They have young players, and who knows? Maybe this is the start of the road to a gold medal in Tokyo.
Well, let's see. I think you said it well. It speaks to Ma Long's ability that over 50 years in the sport, having seen some of the greatest of all time, and that Ma Long is top of the list for you right up there, and he's still here. Came out yesterday. He's recently a father. A little bit of trouble. Again, Timo Boll beat him last year at the Men's World Cup. He was absent for the second half of the year on the World Tour, so his world ranking took a dip. Currently, he's world ranked #7, but he looks to be playing like world ranked #1 out here. As you mentioned, against Sam Walker, Ma Long just couldn't miss. I mean, really demonstrated that he's a whole head above the rest.
I also think here, Adam, that the left-handed, right-handed combination is favourable. And of course, you mentioned how Zhu Jin is so good in doubles. He's a left-handed penhold grip player. He's playing with one of the greatest right-handers of all time. And if that's not a recipe for one of the best pairs ever, what is? I think so tough against the 2 Chinese players here because they're constantly getting in with strong forehand topspins. But let's see how Japan go.
Alrighty, this is a best-of-5 match. First team to win 3 games in Shushin to start with the serve. Oh, the punch by Koki NIWA out wide. Even Ma Long couldn't reach it. Quality, bold shot for NIWA to start. So not a bad start. I mean, you can't ask for much more. Breaking 2 serves from the opponents again. It's just the very start of the game. We saw comebacks yesterday. Fan Zhendong against Liam Pitchford, despite being down quite a bit in the beginning of 2 games.
Let 2 love. Two, 1.
That's going to be a tough one to recover from, even if he makes it, but he's committing for the quality shot early in the rally, which I think is really important against the stronger team.
He was going for a wide angle, trying to play Zhu Jin make the backhand.
2 all.
You know, I talked about how Koki NIWA had beaten Ma Long more recently than almost anybody outside of China. In 2012, he beat him. That's how rarely it happens. But he's also beaten Xu Xin quite recently in 2017. And it was playing wide to the forehand early in the points.
Great forehand topspin from Xu Xin there. Fascinating to watch Xu Xin. His backhand technique is... It's not that long ago when penholders only played with one side of the racket. In fact, they didn't bother to put rubber on the backhand side. But now the top-class penhold grip players have a wonderful reverse backhand topspin. And Xu Xin probably the finest example of that technique, using both sides of the racket.
It's funny, while he's quite strong in it, I still feel that he lacks some confidence on the backhand side. You know, Wang Hao just seemed unstoppable with that backhand. Wang Chunting, despite having a tough tournament here, seems more consistent, but Xu Xin is so fast and powerful.
3, 4.
You know, and one player we haven't talked about a lot on the court, Gene UEDA. We call him the businessman partially because he looks like Clark Kent after a day at work. no problem, always perfectly ready and sharp GQ. Oh, the chop block. Ma Long knows a lot about the chop block, but Koki NIWA, watch this one more time, right off the bounce, heavy side, some under, and Ma Long can't lift that from out in front.
Tremendous shot. I think the big point there is how early he took the ball. It's almost as it bounced.
4-all, please play.
Once Xu Xin cocks back like that for the forehand attack, it's so tough. You just sort of have to brace yourself for impact. How long that forehand stroke is. Really gets the racket low, full arm swing.
4-6.
This time Ma Long strong on the backhand topspin.
So as you mentioned, righty-lefty combo, both sides have that. I do feel that the pen-hold grip is a little advantageous in doubles.
5-6.
But for over-the-table play, especially for a left-handed player who's able to turn the corner, play the short balls well, Xu Xin can be very strong on the receive and in the flip game, especially when he comes around there, but he misses it here.
7-5.
Topspin from Ma Long. Forehand from the backhand side, we'll see on the replay. Round he goes. Deep into the backhand.
Now, Gene Ueda has been very dependable, taking care of business as the businessman. He's sort of a quiet victor in many of his matches. Not the showy player, not creating a lot of creative shots. But that just shows you how powerful Ma Long's topspin is, that he can't keep it down on that backhand punch. Whole lot of running around to get the forehand into play there. Nice placement by the Chinese pair. Yu Ziyang on his feet with coach Liu Guozheng. Lin Gaoyuan next to him, a strong bench. Fan Zhendong will be coming up for the first singles match for China. Perfectly placed right into the crossover point. Xu Xin not able to get a comfortable forehand in. Has to be so tight to the line of the table there to earn that point.
10-6.
Guided the ball there. Xu Xin. Again, as you say, Adam, so good over the table with that pen-hold grip.
Looked like he threw in a little head fake, too, to mislead the next ball, the third ball attack.
10-7.
It's never over with Xu Xin. He's not afraid to take the ball from near the ground and often does take the ball with heavy side and topspin. Why they call him the Cloud Walker. It seems like he can get to just about anything. So 1 game point saved, 3 to go for the Chinese pair. Xu Xin on the serve.
8-10.
It's unusual, Ma Long missing that normally reliable forehand topspin.
I think just to credit Koki NIWA, he has such versatility in his shot. That one stayed quite low off the bounce. It looked like it would have jumped up, but it's never the same twice with Koki NIWA. He's really just creating new shots as he goes. Of course, we've seen something like that before in his millions of shots throughout his career. Only 23 years old, just a reminder. Oh, the big counter from NIWA comes down, but Gene Ueda's flies long. Heavy topspin coming in. 11-8, Xu Xin and Ma Long take the first game in this best-of-5 match. Again, more important now, especially for the underdogs, to pull off the upset here in doubles. Don, what do you expect we're going to get for game 2?
It's a difficult one. Japan made a good start in that game. They won the first couple of points. In fact, they took the first 2 points against the serve. It was a good positive start, but I think it was the relentless topspins from both Xu Xin and Ma Long. I think if I was the Japanese coach, we've got to serve tight. We've got to get in behind the service and be brave on the return of serve. Keep it tight. If it drifts long, we topspin first. We've got to be the pair that gets in with the first strong topspin. But it's so difficult because China is so strong. Give them half a chance. I think Ma Long made one mistake against the ball that you mentioned, that Koki topspun stayed a little bit low. But apart from that, the Chinese aren't going to miss any chances.
Definitely with hard work comes, I'd say, luck favors the prepared, and they are very well prepared out here. The most intense practice we've seen, the most diligent nation on the planet for table tennis comes in ready to fight. So far they're fighting well. Only 8 times they were outplayed in the first game. So relatively tight game one. We'll see what happens in game 2. I think your recipe might be a successful one if they can pull it off.
That was wonderful touch play there. It looked so simple just to push the ball over the net, but that was so low and so close to the net.
That shot right there was my favorite. Ma Long coming in and playing it parallel on the push. Surprise.
1-all.
Good play from Xu Xin there. The ball just came slightly long. He anticipated the length. He was able to lengthen his shot, let the ball come over the baseline. Good spin, well anticipated.
That was the World Cup there, the Team World Cup that they're playing for. Oh, just missing the corner. Koki NIWA going boldly twice. One backhand from off the table. And as the smallest guy on court by a bit, it's amazing his timing, how much power he can generate. He's small in stature, but he's quite strong. I liken him to Bruce Lee. 6-pack and muscles all around.
Koki NIWA there held his ground. Ma Long, one of the strongest topspins in the game. He didn't back away from the table and took it on the bounce back.
That point that was the #1 point in 2017 with Koki NIWA plays a lot. It just goes to show you that he is not afraid.
3-2.
And then there, good variation. He came up the back of the ball, didn't go for the speed, went for the spin. And the variation won the point. So they are being brave. They're going for shots. Can they keep it going for 11 points?
Oh, almost gets it. Has to go down to the ground for that first attack. And as soon as Ueda's shot comes down, Koki NIWA has a long way to go. Captain Long, that sign said. Ma Long, the dragon, the dictator. For the first few months in a long time, he is not #1 in the world. Dmitry Ovcharov, fighting with Fang Zhendong, was able to take the spot. You know, it's funny, you mentioned brave, and for Koki NIWA, that is his default setting.
Left was not vertically.
Toss not vertical. Oh, interesting. Now, this is something, you know, I read a lot of YouTube comments, and people gripe about all sorts of stuff on YouTube, but the toss of Xu Xin back into the body a bit rarely gets called.
Let 3-all.
Fair enough, adjustment made there. A nearly vertical toss from Xu Xin. Love the start of this point. Again, some of these shots that come in, Koki NIWA able to counter, and Ueda up for the task as well. The punch there, and it's Ma Long's shot that finds the net.
Let 3-4.
So 1 point lead here for the Japanese men. Beautiful counter, Xu Xin playing it right back from the forehand out wide to the forehand side.
So difficult with Xu Xin. When he goes round, there he goes. Where's that ball going? And you can't tell until the last second. Uses his upper body to disguise the direction. Looks one way, the ball goes the other. And he's so powerful.
5-4.
This is good positive play. Ueda having to work really hard here to put a quality shot in from near the net. Now, I wanted to touch on something you said in terms of Xu Xin being so unpredictable. Do a fun exercise if you're at home. Try the pen hold grip and try the shake hands grip and see how far you can rotate your wrist.
4-6.
Spoiler alert, the pen hold grip will allow you more flexibility. You'll be able to rotate even more. So, if a player's strong with that forehand, like Xu Xin is, it's just less predictable because he can change the direction more than, say, a shake hands player would be able to.
But it's an interesting point, isn't it, that the shake hand grip players compensate by holding it very different on service. Oh, what a Topspin there by Xu Xin. But they hold it very loose, so they get a little bit more wrist into it. And the other interesting development in recent years is the backhand return of serve from the forehand side of the table. And again, it's for that very reason they can get more wrist into the shot. So the shakehand grip players are trying to adapt their grip and their technique to get more wrist. But that was always the advantage of the penhold grip. A little bit more wrist.
6 all.
Yeah, that is interesting. Trying to get the best of both worlds. I think that's how table tennis is evolving, right? Lu Guoliang having to develop that reverse penhold backhand so that the traditional penhold game was not going into extinction, was not retired. Very focused backhand there off the bounce, parallel from Jin Ueda. Yuya Oshima, Coach Kurashima there, the head coach for the national team of Japan, the men's team. So 1 point game. Japan in the lead.
7 all.
Again, I thought there the Japanese players were trying to punch the ball, block it hard. There's NIWA with a strong backhand topspin. And he was just didn't quite get his racket sufficiently over the top of the ball. That ball is fizzing with topspin. Difficult to appreciate on the TV, but it really is spinning at a rapid number of knots.
Fault, 7, 8.
Oh, this is interesting.
Not vertically.
So he's not throwing the ball sufficiently upwards.
Long was not happy about that. Neither player, they're both. I'd love to see that one more time from the point of the toss. Came in just a moment late. It was caught off guard. Maybe we'll have a chance to see that toss one more time. Well, either way, adjustments will have to be made. This is interesting. Here we go. Oh, okay, okay. Borderline. Definitely questionable. I don't know. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse and seen players get away with it.
That would be
7,
exactly my comment.
8.
It did look a little bit, but I've seen worse.
Yeah. We will see how he handles it here. That was almost as vertical as can be, and Ma Long pulling a Zhangji Ke out here. 2015, do the Zhangji Ke. That hashtag went around with players squatting behind tables. Interestingly enough, Koki NIWA did it in singles. I don't know if we'll ever see that at the professional level again. Someone pulling a Zhangji Ke in a singles match, ducking under the table.
9, 8.
There, running around the backhand to play the forehand. Just flicks it off the end of the table. Here he goes. Just lifts it a fraction too much.
That's a tough shot. I feel like with the wrist there, you don't develop quite as much topspin the way he went for it. A bit of side spin on it as well.
9
Heavy
all.
backspin on the return of serve there. The wrist coming underneath the ball.
So third towel break of the game, a strong bench. Again, China on the men's and women's side. Such a deep lineup. Lin Gaoyuan, one of the best players in the world currently, still gaining international experience. He's had some opportunities that have gone, well, to his
9 all.
opponent, despite having many match points. Oh, Xu Xin sweeping. It's the signature shot. It's so tough. You mentioned the heavy topspin. And also, he injects different amounts of side spin here, though. Let's see. Look at that ball bend. A little bit of side spin, a lot of topspin to the deepest corner. Jin Ueda was looking like, well, there's table there. Game point to the Chinese pair. Oh, just missing the back edge. Koki NIWA in the lobbing game, the counterattacks. A strong fight, a valiant effort, but 11-9. Full commitment from Ma Long and Xu Xin on this. Side spin and everything else makes it so challenging to play from that far away from the table. Spectacular rally to finish. And he knows he has to keep it deep on the table because if it bounces slightly too shallow, both Ma Long and Xu Xin are going to have quite an easy time creating an angle to hit a ball that's unreturnable, Don.
Yeah, very clever tactical point there by China, but I think the really interesting point there for me was when the umpire called the foul serve, not throwing the ball upwards. Very easy there for Ma Long, Xu Xin to have an argument, to lose their focus, to lose their concentration. It was at the business end of that second game as well. It was tight, they kept the cool, and then they win 11-9. I thought the Japanese players there tried to do everything we spoke about, Adam, in the break there. They looked to be positive, they looked to get in. They played some wonderful touch play as well, keeping the ball tight, making it very difficult. And it was 11-9, it's a 2-point margin. It can't be closer than that. So well done to both Japanese players. But of course now 2-0 down, it's a mountain to climb.
It is a smaller mountain though, in the sense that it's 3 games rather than 4 to come back. Still a steep incline, I would say.
Third game, shoot to serve, love all.
After all, this is the first match, first team to win 3 matches. No chance there. That is perfection. Xu Xin doing a little lap to stay cool as soon as the opponents get slightly out of position. I mean, Koki NIWA is a left-handed player, switches to the right hand, but no chance.
I thought there that it passed Xu Xin. Not only had they not passed him, he got across and played a ridiculous forehand topspin. Fantastic play.
1 love.
I think Koki NIWA would have needed to switch hands and borrow someone else's arm to hold.
Let 1 love. Love 2.
He's definitely been a little bit more careful on throwing the ball upwards.
That's all it really takes, right? I mean, once you start losing points for it, you can't afford to be careless.
1, 2.
It's a very aggressive swing for a ball just below the table.
2 all.
Break there off the top of the net. Ma Long going for a flatter punch.
It's interesting to watch the bench. China lost the point. The bench are on their feet clapping. The message is you did the right thing. Even though you lost the point, the tactics were good. Ma Long there trying to be aggressive, trying to be positive.
Yeah, it's nice to see that team spirit. You know, when you're on the bench, you can be involved in some ways, and they're doing it the best they know how to get up and show their encouragement and support that they're there for the team. Oh, brilliant shot from the middle of the body. He covers and plays it to the opposite side. Again, if Xu Xin can't reach it, nobody can. Short stroke, too. Ma Long putting everything into it, pinning that middle. Can't ask for a much better shot from Ma Long. Aggressive play. Koki NIWA is comfortable on top of the bounce. But even from behind the table, again, he plays with very little hesitation on his shots, whether it's a chop block, a lob, but his attacks are quite aggressive.
That just got the edge of the table there. Good aggressive topspin. But NIWA has this ability to punch as well on the backhand, so the ball comes through quite flat. And the next shot, he plays a very spinny forehand topspin, making life very difficult. Ball coming through flat, ball coming through with a lot of spin.
That's well said. I think Koki NIWA making life difficult. I mean, that's the experience for all the opponents, right? Pretty much all of them anyway.
5, 4.
I think that is one of his great tactics and skills, is that he's so tough to chase. You just can't really catch on to what he's thinking or what's going to come next from him. And everything is a little bit different.
Timeout.
We have to imagine that's a timeout on the side. Let's see, last point I would imagine with the, it's for Japan, because they're down 0-2 right now. China would have a lot of time.
それで勝負かけて、その方がゆっくり帰ってくる可能性。ただまあやっぱフォアはあそこ待ってるから、やっぱバック側の方がまだ。
That's an interesting timeout. I think I might have left with a few more points. Yeah, 5-4 down. Maybe he thinks another couple of points go against Japan. 7-4. Maybe it's a bit too late to have any impact with the timeout.
Yeah, it could go either way. I mean, just like you said, if China gets a few points, it might be in recoverable, a depth that they might not be able to come back from. Now, from the little that I heard, there's Ma Long on the blade, on the racket. Let's see what hand picks it up. Hey, it's the man himself. All right. It's like a nice little name tag to have on your luggage. It says, my bag, this is my racket. It's me. I was going to say in Japanese, I heard mate is in wait. So maybe a little bit more patient play in the early part of the rally. Allow the opponents to get the first attack and counter wisely. After all, Ma Long used that against Fan Zhendong in the men's singles final in Dusseldorf at the World Championships last year. That flat shot just looks so casual from Koki NIWA. Crosses the body, plays it parallel with the forehand. Look at it one more time. Low to the net, slow spin, guides it forward. Oh, the flip. Slippery clouds over there for the Cloud Walker. Wow. I mean, it has to be so surprising for Xu Xin to lose grip on the bottom of his shoes here. That's how fast he moves, though, that his shoes can't even keep up with him. And much like the rest of the Chinese national team, and maybe I would say more than most, Xu Xin has very strong legs to carry him, so it's a lot of weight coming down on those shoes.
Heavy backspin there on the Ma Long service. Loose grip, fast accelerating wrist there. We see him coming underneath the ball. And the backhand topspin just catches the top of the net, flies off the end of the table. Counter topspin there from Xu Xin. He anticipated well there. Ball coming down the line. He was there waiting for it with his forehand.
As soon as he pulls back, Don, I just feel like it's a natural disaster on the way. Like, Xu Xin's forehand is just so dangerous.
7-8.
I'm very impressed with the two Japanese players here. They're fighting for every point. Their body language is saying, we've got a chance here if we can play well.
Well, Koki NIWA's pretty fascinating that way, always keeping his cool, never really shows too much emotion out there. And UEDA coming back from 6-10 yesterday.
9-7.
Well placed topspin there into the body. Koki NIWA couldn't quite get into position. You'll see him here. Topspin just coming up.
I'm watching a little bit nervously with the serve.
10-7.
Yeah, NIWA there, in my opinion, doing the right thing. He was going for the counter topspin down the line, but Japan now face 3 match points.
And there it is. China takes it 3-0 over UEDA and Koki NIWA. It's Xu Xin and Ma Long to start off on the right foot for China. Very strong performance despite some quite quality play and strong efforts from UEDA and Koki NIWA. Xu Xin and Ma Long, the superior pair out here, and they've set up their teammate, Fan Zhendong, world number 2 at 21 years old, to be playing, believe it or not, somebody who is 2/3 his age, 14 years old, Tomokazu Harimoto, world number 11, in the next singles match. Don, I'm sure you've seen a lot of Tomokazu Harimoto playing on the World Tour. What are your thoughts about the next match coming up?
I thought yesterday when China played England, I'm going back to the England match again, I thought Liam Pitchford has played amazingly well here, and he certainly played incredible against Fan Zhendong. But Fan Zhendong just pulled it out. I think he's going to be very tough for Harimoto to beat. Harimoto's lost a couple of games here. Obviously, he's an incredibly exciting prospect. He's broken all sorts of records, a child prodigy. Can he beat Fan Zhendong? I don't think so yet.
We will see. I think it's possible, maybe not super likely, and especially as you mentioned, in this tournament, Harimoto's had some tough losses, played a little bit below his level, or at least his opponents have played above his level. So there's the lineup, and you can see the responsibility on the line. In the third spot, Koki, NIWA, and Ma Long, but coming up next, again, Tomokazu Harimoto versus Fan Zhendong. The only thing I can think of is if Harimoto is as aggressive as usual in the short game and can get Fan Zhendong a little bit behind the table, create some angles early. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle. Let's hear from the winners, Xu Xin and Ma Long, down on court with our very own Colin for an interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Xu Xin and Ma Long with us. We're very, very happy to speak to you. Congratulations, China 1-0 ahead. I would like to ask, Xu Xin, you are now Team World Cup champion doubles. You win this match. You also won the World Championships 2017 with Fan Zhendong, 2015 Zhang Jike, 2011 with your partner today, Ma Long. Is it possible you are the best doubles player ever?
恭喜你们刚才赢了双打的这一场。然后许昕想问你，你赢了3次的世界双打冠军，分别和不同的队友，那你是不是世界上最好的双打选手？
也许我是世界上最好的双打，但是我的同伴也是世界上最强的。
Maybe I'm the best double player in the world, but my teammates are the best too.
Very good, thank you very much. And I'd like to ask Ma Long. You see Fan Zhendong, he knows he has to play a younger player, Tomokazu Harimoto, both world junior champions, but Tomokazu is younger. Do you see him prepare, do you see Fan Zhendong prepare differently for this opponent?
一会儿樊振东要和张本智和进行比赛了，然后张本智和年龄小一些，他们虽然都是青少年的冠军，但是你觉得樊振东会不会就是针对这个比赛做不同的准备？
因为日本队是中国队最主要的对手之一，我相信这场樊振东肯定会全力以赴。准备拿下这场比赛。当然，我觉得竞技体育成人比赛是不分年龄的，所以说我相信樊振东。
I'm sorry. Prepare. Fan Zhendong I think Fan Zhendong will try his best to prepare for the match. And although they are young, but for the sports, if you are playing the sports, they're regardless of the age, so he will try his best.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, doubles victory and 1-0 to China. Ma Long and the legendary Xu Xin.